Alright guys, so today we're going to go through an electric underfloor heating mat installation for a floor that is to be tiled. Okay, first things first guys, make sure that you put insulated backer boards down, that way you get the correct heat coming through the tiles. If you go onto a background, say it's concrete, and you don't use an insulated board, then what's going to happen, you're just going to get heat loss. All the heat of the mat is going to go into that cold floor. Okay, another good tip for you is to make sure that you give the boards one prime coat of primer. It's not usually necessary with these boards if you're tiling directly onto them. However, if you don't prime the boards, then your tape will not stick to them when you come to sticking down the edges of the mat. Okay, so you've ordered the mat. Okay, on receivership of the mat, take it out the box, and a quick inspection, make sure that you have the correct size mat that you have actually ordered. To get the actual measurement of the room, you just measure the length by the width and get your square meterage. Whatever the square meterage is, always go below. As an example, if you've got an area that is 8 square meters, do not get the 8 square meter mat, get the 7 square meter mat, okay, or the 7.5 if they do one, and that way you'll just have a little gap around the edges. If you go for one too close to the square meterage, then sometimes you can struggle to get them fitted in. Okay, so we've received the mat, we've checked it's the correct size. The next thing I want to do is give it a quick test to check that it's actually a working mat. So what we can do is you can use a multimeter to check this. Put it on the correct setting, and then we just hold it on the 2 wires. And I can see there that has got continuity. Okay, so that's a good mat. Or another way that we can do this guys, and I 100% recommend that you do this, is get yourself a screamer. Okay, and what this does is, if we just connect this up, there we go. If I just switch that on, so you can see the flashing light there, that shows us that we have a good working mat. Now at any part of this installation, if the mat was to get damaged, let's say you drop a hammer or a tile on the floor, then you would hear the alarm go off and you would know instantly where that was damaged, and it would allow you to get that fixed. Okay, so what I recommend you do guys is pick yourself one of these up. They're about a tenner off Amazon, and make sure you use them when you're doing these installations. But we'll just disconnect that for now and move on. So we have the correct size mat, we've checked that it's working, and what we can do now guys is check the rest of the kit. So we have our touchscreen controller, okay, our conduit for the cable. So this is like a tubing that the floor sensor is going to get fed down, and the actual floor sensor itself, which gets wired up to the controller. And last but not least, we've got our gaffer tape for sticking the mat down. what I'll do is I'll talk through this bit whilst I'm doing the actual video.
Oh, you're not recording?
I am, but I'll mute it and I'll do a, you know, like a talk.
You're doing that because you have to go to the toilet?
Yeah. Now what would have been helpful was if you put the toilet down and drew around it.
Oh.
Never mind. Okay guys, a very important part of an underfloor heating installation is to make sure that the floor sensor goes between two cables so that you can take a heat reading, and this will allow the customer to set the temperature of the floor. So between the two wires, two heating cables, we're just going to draw a line like so. Where did I just put that? Where did I just put the conduit?
There, that thing there.
Oh, there it is. Shit.
You just chucked it away.
I know, I'm all over the place now. I'm behind now. Right, ready? So, what we want to do is, if you're quite careful with this, what you can actually do is you can create a snug sort of section out, which means you don't have to try and tape this down. So let's see how this goes. There we go guys, that fits snug in there, and you've just saved yourself about 10 minutes messing around with bits of tape. Tape. Make sure you tape over the end. And then that right is going to go up there and through the other side once you get that sorted out, okay? What I'm going to do for now is I'm just going to tape this up here for you so it's out of the way, okay mate? Like that. Okay. Okay. Once we're ready to stick it down, we can pull these off the back. Make sure that your floor heat sensor cable is between the wires. And away we go.
What did you say?
Just put that out there for me.
Well, put that one on then.
Okay. Right guys, so good little tip for you is make sure that you've got gaffer tape, okay? If you don't have this stuff to tape down some of these cables, then what's going to happen is when you put your leveling compound over, you're going to have bits of wires sticking up and it's a nightmare, okay? So as you can see, I'm sticking all the cables down. You can see where I've actually pulled the wires off the mat to work it into awkward areas. And also important thing to mention here guys, make sure that there's always a 50mm distance between the cables so that they don't potentially burn out. That's one of the things that can make these jobs fail. But we're looking not bad now. I just want a bit of tape right down this end, look. Beautiful. Right across. And we're ready for a bit of leveling compounding. Okay guys, so we're ready. We've got our floor probe set, our tubing for our floor probe. We've got our end feed cable which is going to run through the wall. The spark is going to sort that out. Okay, and we're good to go. Right, do's and don'ts then. If you open up your cable kit, okay, and you start rolling it out and you realise that you've got a cable kit that's too big, don't start doing things like running it under baths and things like that to get rid of it, okay? Just put it away and you'll use it on another job. Get another one ordered. Okie dokie. That's pretty much it. It's not rocket science. And as you can see, if you just film that sensor, the sensor's bleeping away there. That is showing us that everything is good. And it's peace of mind, guys. You know, the last thing you want to do is get to the end of the job and then find out that the kit's not working. How are we looking? Smashing. Okay. Let's see. Situating the actual controller, you wanna put a fuse spare in at the bottom. Okay, and then you want to connect it up to the controller. Now wherever you do that decides on a number of factors, most importantly where you can get a connection from. So you know, if there's a socket there or something, that really helps. But the spark is doing that anyway. And there we have it, guys. One thing to note is this bulbous section here. Just dig that into the floor so it gets covered with the leveling compound. And we're ready to go. Alright lads, so we're ready. Let's get it sorted out. First things first, guys, I've went round and blocked off any gaps where the leveling compound may seep through, okay? So I've bung silicone everywhere where I feel like that is a possibility. And hopefully I've done enough. There's a big gap down there, which Ryan could have caught with his adhesive. So that's a good tip for you guys when you're doing these jobs and you've got a little bit of spare adhesive, bung it in any gaps, okay? So I've got my level and compound, 6 litres of water per 25 kilogram bag, and we're just going to pour it all in. Whoop. In a wanna, there we go. Now we're not going to use all of this, so it's just good practice to mix it all. Here we go. Right, we're going to let that sit for a couple of minutes, and while it's doing that, I'm going to stick another couple of bits of tape down. Rolling?
Rolling.
So I've let it sit for a couple of minutes, going to give it another little blast. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it up there, out of the way. Do you want to unplug that? No, I'll get it. You can take this down in just a second, mate, okay? Out of the way. Okay, now, I've got my spiky roller, okay? Which I know they say you can't spiky roller fibre-based level and compounds. You can, you just don't go mental. Floating trowel, very important bit of kit when you're doing this. And we're ready to go. So, level and compound, pour it down. And using the floating trowel, we're just going to move it around where we want it. You see we've got a few lumps in here. Never mind. Do you want to just move that out of here for now, please? Okay, looking good. Moving out of them, can you see that little bit sticking up there?
Yeah, what's that?
It's a bit of netting. Oh, mate, can't get away from it. Okay, let's move back then. Take that out of the way, mate. Let's move that there. Okay. Lots of little bits in this one. Okay. Why are you sticking up there? Nightmare. Nightmare, mate. So there's a bit of levelling compound on that floor there, you need to give that a wipe in a minute, okay? I should be on the customer new carpet, see? Okay, mate, just gonna put that there, okay?
Okay.
Oh, snagged a wire then. Be careful when you're doing this, guys. Just move it around like so. Okay.
Oh god.
There you go, okay. Coming out, coming out, coming out. In it goes. Okay, pan back, what's my like, okay? Ready? Okay guys, and there we have it, completed installation, all within 1 hour and 20 minutes. Last but not least guys, the actual paperwork for the installation needs to be signed off by a qualified electrician so that the warranty is valid. Okay, so that'll get done on the final connection by the electrician. Right guys, please give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Let us know any other videos you like that you want to see, and we'll see you next time. Directly between two wires, so I can actually draw a little line down here with a pencil mark. Just showing where I want that to go, and that'll do right there. Now, good tip for you is, if you're very careful. Is that where it's going?
Yeah.
What's this?
Well, that was before he thought he was doing it there, because that's the hall light and this is the bedroom light.
Outstanding. That's okay.